Chicago Bears training camp breakdown, the biggest news, stories, and more from Bears camp. His practice was closed today, meaning no media, no fans, and nobody knows what went on behind closed doors today. But I want to go ahead and show off some more highlights from yesterday's 2+ hour practice and talk about some plays that I got to rewatch. As I went back and reviewed the 2+ hour practice yesterday and came away with some information I think fans would love to hear. First, on offense, the biggest issue remains pre snap procedures and penalties. It's the biggest thing that we need to get cleaned up, but overall, there have been a ton of positive takeaways. The tight ends have heavily factored into the Bears' offensive game plan. Both Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland have had plays drawn up for them and are big parts of Ben Johnson's offense. Both players scored TDs at the Family Fest, and we also got to look at the wide open play to Cole Kmet, where either one of Cole Kmet or Kyle Monungai could have walked in for a TD. And speaking of the rookie running back, Kyle Monungai has not been perfect, but he has clearly made an impact early on. He scored multiple TDs yesterday, and I believe that he's already locked down a roster spot on the 53. Yes, he was a seventh round pick, but he's been very impressive. He runs with power and he's much quicker and shiftier than most people seem to realize. Ben Johnson even kind of let it slip during his press conference, saying Monungai is someone we will count on during the regular season. Yeah, to me, that means he's not going anywhere, and he has a shot to even potentially lead this team in rushing yards or touchdowns as early as 2025. Keep an eye on the rookie runner from Rutgers. Another guy that deserves some praise is Rome Odunze. He is at an awesome training camp. Not only is he going up and making big time catches, but he is constantly wide open. Even when he doesn't get the ball, there are multiple reps at Soldier Field where Rome was wide open and Caleb either didn't have time to get him the ball or just didn't see him. But simply put, Rome could be one of the biggest breakout players in the entire league next season. Do not forget about Romo Dunze, and I know that some fans are, especially with all the talk about the other playmakers. Yes, we drafted Luther Burden and Colston Loveland, but that does not take away from Rome's talent. Stop sleeping on Romo Dunze. This guy is going to be a star. And then I have one more thing I wanted to mention with the left tackle position. A lot of people were talking about Deo Odangbo beating Ozzy Trapillo for a sack. I've went back and watched that rep 15 times. And simply put, Caleb just held the ball too long on that snap. Ozzy held his block for more than 5 seconds. You can't blame the rookie tackle for that one. But there was a rep where Austin Booker got by Trapillo. I'll talk more about that in a second. But meanwhile, Braxton Jones has lost multiple reps nearly every single practice. What I think some people don't understand is this is not a case of the Bears pushing Ozzy into the starting lineup. It's a case where he has simply been better than Braxton Jones has, and he is earning his spot in the starting lineup. Now let's talk about the defense. Austin Booker is a guy that I just mentioned, and he's had a couple of reps where he's gotten pressure in the backfield. Overall, he hasn't gotten as many first team reps as the other defensive ends, but when he's on the field, he has made some splash plays. I have a clip from Family Fest where he beats Ozzy Trapillo for a sack, but the play was not blown dead, and Caleb would end up running for a first down. To most people in attendance, this went into the books as a first down run by Caleb Williams, but to me, it was clearly a sack by Austin Booker. Overall, the defense just had an incredible practice on Sunday, and after going back and watching a ton of plays over and over, a couple of other guys deserve some love. Second year corner Terrell Smith had an awesome practice. He ran a couple of series with the first team, and he was locking DJ Moore down. On back to back targets, T. Smith was covering DJ, breaking up one pass, and causing DJ to make a weird contested catch for just a couple of yards on the other one. T. Smitty has strung together a few really good practices, and he's starting to get more reps with the first team. The biggest problem for Smith is the other corners he's competing with didn't disappoint either, as both Tyreek Stevenson and Nashawn Wright had really good days as well. Nashawn made a couple of big plays. I talked about Tyreek yesterday, but Nashawn also made a couple of big plays. He's the guy who broke up the pass to Colston Loveland in the end zone, and he almost intercepted a ball that Caleb airmailed as well. This is a tall, lengthy corner who plays physical and has a lot of speed. He's really caught the attention of the coaching staff, and based on reps in practice, he has already passed up guys like Zay Frazier and Terrell Smith, and he's now locked in a battle for the CB2 job with Tyreek Stevenson. Both would be starters if JJ isn't ready to go week one, but once he is, one of these two will be headed to the bench. It's been one of the most surprising stories of camp for sure. After a more thorough look, I also have to recant what I said about Tremaine Edmonds yesterday. Yes, he did almost come down with an interception and broke up another pass, but he had a couple of plays where he was way out of place. He was beat by Olamide Zacchaeus for a big time reception, and he had a couple of plays where he couldn't stop the running back either. He was one on one with DeAndre Swift in the flat, and Swift broke his ankles with a juke. And then on the other hand, Kyle Monungai would run right through him for a broken tackle up the middle. I've defended Edmonds a bit over the last 2 years, but this season is a make or break year for him in Chicago. He needs to have a big year to earn that contract because if he doesn't, the Bears most likely will move on from him in 2026. I'm not giving up on Maine yet, but I need to see more consistency and more impact plays from the highly paid linebacker. Speaking of Jalen Johnson, though, he did make his first appearance of the year at training camp. He was seen on the sidelines during Family Fest. He has been at Hallis Hall rehabbing, and my hope is that JJ's ready to go week one against the Vikings. He's one of the best players on our entire roster, and currently the only All Pro that has played a game in a Bears uniform and currently the only all pro player that has played a game in a Bears uniform. We have two new additions that are both all pros as well, Grady Jarrett and Joe Tooney. My final takeaway is that the national media has completely blown things out of proportion when it comes to this year's training camp and the things they're saying about Caleb Williams. It feels like they are constantly bashing this franchise. Caleb Williams has had a better camp than I expected, and the people making a big deal out of the interceptions in practice, let's remember, Caleb had the best TD to interception ratio of any rookie quarterback in NFL history. He only threw 6 interceptions last year, and he never threw more than 5 in any year in college. So in his last 4 years, he's thrown 6, 5, 5, and 4 interceptions, totaling only 20 in 4 seasons. Meanwhile, Jordan Love's thrown 22 interceptions in just the last 2 years. Jared Goff has thrown 24 over the last 2 years and 94 in his career. Kirk Cousins threw 16 last year alone. But interceptions simply are not something that I'm really worried about when it comes to our QB1. The Bears are back at practice tomorrow before having a day off on Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday are open practices, with Friday being the joint scrimmage against the Dolphins. I, for one, cannot wait for Friday's practice. Let me know in the comments how you guys are feeling. Please remember to hit that like button for me to support the channel. I appreciate everyone who watches. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.